Good morning, gang. Happy Thursday morning. And yeah, we're out of order this morning. Nothing like starting my day, get up this morning and go see what happened overnight. And I got no internet. And so, 5 o'clock in the morning, trying to get a hold of my internet company, figure out what's going on. And, stupid stuff. It's like, oh, reset your modem, restart your computer. It's like, no kidding, Sherlock here. Those are the common sense first things. The internet's been around for what, 30 years, 25 years now. We all know to do that. So, yeah, so I'm stuck here on 4G with just my phone, which makes life a little easier. So the reason you got the video that was actually supposed to be put up mid-morning first was because I know a lot of you guys wonder where I am when I don't have a video out for morning coffee. So I apologize for this one being late, but life gets in the way sometimes. So, oh yeah, one other piece of information because I know a bunch of you guys asked. PBJ arrived last night safely after 10 hours on the road due to traffic, and a garbage truck flipped over on the road somewhere in Ohio. But she finally got in about 8 o'clock last night. So, yeah, nothing like spending 10 hours on the road for a 7 hour trip. But she's here. So, all's good. All right. In regards to a win for the people of the United States. Apparently, this came out last week, and it's just kind of hitting the media now. And that's not a big surprise because obviously the media would cover this one up because it doesn't fit the liberal, insane narrative. State of New York, the uber liberal state of New York, not the people, that's New York City. The rest of New York is pretty red. Okay. But politically, the state of New York is very liberal. You guys have heard all of these laws against guns that New York has tried to put into play, amongst other states. Okay. And last year, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled their concealed carry laws in New York unconstitutional. So that was a win for those of us who believe in protecting ourselves. But last week, the state Supreme Court in New York ruled that New York's red flag laws were unconstitutional. That is a huge, huge win. Okay. And if you remember what the law, if you know or if you remember, but basically what it said was that anybody could come up and say, oh, my daughter, my neighbor, my ex-boyfriend, I think he's mentally unfit. Oh, okay. So we're going to go to his house and we're going to seize all his firearms. That was literally all it needed to be. Remember, we've talked about this, many channels have talked about this, that it took nothing. It was, this was a guilty until proven innocent. As long as somebody said something, the way the New York politicians saw it was that's enough, that's good enough information for them to go seize firearms. Basically, it was an attack on the Second Amendment because anybody could have said anything. Politician could walk around. I mean, this is a little over the top, but that's how I make my points. You guys know that. Politician go out and say, I think everybody that lives in New York City is batshit crazy. Therefore, we need to remove everybody's guns. And under their red flag laws, that could have happened. Now, I won't disagree with the part where everybody that lives in New York City is batshit crazy. I don't know why anybody would want to live there in the first place. That's my opinion. Well, there was a court case that went through, the whole thing got all the way up to New York State Supreme Court, where a woman of all things was accused by her husband or her boyfriend of, well, I don't know, she may be a danger to herself. And so therefore, I think you should take away her firearms. And so New York did. And she sued. And the Supreme Court ruling that came out last week basically stated that New York's red flag laws were unconstitutional, and that the only person or only group of people that could make a determination whether somebody was mentally unstable, in other words, to own a gun, was a medical professional. Wow, what a freaking concept! You know, that a psychiatrist would be the one that would say if you're mentally incompetent or a threat to yourself or something, you know, as Angry Pepper puts it all the time. Gee, the medical field gets to determine if you're a psych patient. You know, your mailman can't. Isn't that a surprise? You know, so this is a win for everybody in regards to uh, red flag laws, because now there's precedent. Okay, and so if some other state of California or Oregon or Michigan or something like that decides to put a red flag law into place and say, oh, gee, you know what, your neighbor can now say you can't have guns, there's now precedent in U.S. decided law that would be used. Now, the court, of course, said they understand that there are, that guns in the wrong hands can be used for nefarious purposes. And I think we'd all agree with that. Okay, go look at the south side of Chicago. Okay, there's a whole bunch of whack jobs there who think selling drugs is a good career choice, and they own guns. But again, the court said, the Supreme Court of the state said that this is not a decision that should be made by anybody other than a medical professional, not a judge, not a cop, not a district attorney, a medical professional. Okay. So this means that you, me, or anybody else can breathe a little bit of sigh of relief in regards to, no, your ex-girlfriend cannot get pissy at you and have everything taken away. Your ex-wife, your ex-husband, okay, your liberal kid, your liberal sister-in-law, or whatever, can't go, oh my God, guns are scary. I can't go to their house for Christmas because they've got those scary guns in the house. That's fine. You know what? Don't come to Christmas. That's my answer. That'd be about it. Okay. My house, my rules, end of story. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. But I wanted to let you guys know here that this is a win for everybody that says the courts are against us, the cops are against us, the military's against us. Sure, there's people on both sides in every profession. In this case, a Supreme Court justice in the state of New York agrees with us. And in my opinion, that's huge. Okay. So, again, I apologize for the out of order videos this morning, but I got to figure out how to get my freaking internet working. So now, of course, the fun part is trying to figure out how to get this video posted, but that's more problems that I get to deal with. The joys of doing YouTube. Isn't this fun? Who knows what's going to happen today, guys? I may be back at lunch. I may not. I don't know. If anything happens in a world that's crazy, I will. If I have internet, okay, whatever would be. But it is what it is, Yeah, unfortunately, we are tied to technology for this. And if I don't have access, not a whole lot I can do. Have a good one, guys. Pinball out.